Welcome back, Metals, Money, and Markets. We're here at March 1st for MiningClips. Rob Goodman. Mickey Fulp, the Mercenary Geologist, will run through it. All right, Mickey. Level dollar for the most part here, but gold and silver for some reason took a bath today. Let's start there.
Well, they started taking a bath a couple of days ago. Gold was at 1325 and it started to fail and it dropped $20 today, another $20, closed at 1293. It went as low as 1290 before it rallied a bit at market close. It's broken resistance. So who knows from now on? If it doesn't climb back above 1300 in the next couple of days, first days of next week, then it could go much lower. Silver closed at 1518, down 4.5%. Platinum 856 for a 2% gain. It made it up to 870 a couple of days ago, so it's finally bottomed and rallied. And palladium, which made it to 1540, closed the week at 1523 for another 3.3% gain. It's just insane what's going on with the palladium market right now. It will fail at some point. I can't tell you where or when that will happen. A lot of this driven by risk on in the stock market.
Copper actually had a pretty good week here, up almost 2%.
Another big move up. Is very volatile today. I saw it went as low as 293, as high as 298, finished about in the middle at 296. The trade freeze that's going on looks like it may start to thaw, so that was good for industrial metals. You know, the Chinese are in a real hurt right now, so they're starting to make concessions. Copper is way in backwardation today, though. It was such a volatile market. It's hard to tell what was going on, but a very active 3-month contract. Yeah, I want to talk, before we go into energy, I want to talk a bit about the ratios. Platinum to gold came off the bottom, which we saw a couple of weeks ago at 0.61, ended up at 0.66. That's totally due to the to platinum rally, and then the platinum to palladium ratio. We talked about that last week. It was 1 point off its all-time low. It is now at its all-time low. It's about 4 or 5 days since 1971 that it's been that low.
And as mentioned, rough energy markets here. Let's start with oil.
Well, oil had a bit of a volatile week. It dropped considerably today. Really what happened was the dollar started out the day pretty weak, and then it surged, and all the commodities kind of got hit with the exception of copper. Oil finished at 55.75, down 2.5% on the week, despite some positive macroeconomic things going on in the oil business. Rigs are down 9. U.S. inventories down a whopping 9.5 million barrels. OPEC production for the month of January reached a 4-year low at 30.7 million barrels a day. U.S. imports, this is quite the anomaly, less than 6 million barrels a day. And I'm not really sure what's going on. We've been hanging at 7.5 to 8 million barrels a day, but might have something to do with refineries who can't get heavy crude. This is also the time of year with refinery maintenance. That could have something to do with it. And then, if memory serves, Trump took some oil out of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve a week or two ago. Anyway, and the topic of interest, of course, is the over-under when Maduro will flee for Cuba as Venezuela makes its way into chaos.
Yeah, and meanwhile, uranium had a really rough week here.
Yeah, it dropped on Monday. It dropped $1, and so I went to my sources and tried to find out what was going on. It's a very opaque market, but the speculation is that Traxxas, which is a trader of uranium, sold into the spot market so they could arbitrage later to contract deliveries that they have coming due. And normally, when they do this, they've always done that with a DOE surplus sale. And there ain't no more DOE surplus sales since Trump became president.
And I know these currency markets here, dollar off a nickel, but the loonie really got rocked.
Yeah, dollar spent most of the week lower than it ended up. It rallied today, somewhat over 40 basis points, something like that, maybe a little higher. Closed at 96.47, barely off. Euro barely up at 113.7. The loonie got hit very hard, closed at 75.22, lost what, 85 basis points on a week, down 1.1%. I think this has to do with the trouble that Trudeau is in. He has been linked to the big SNC Lavalin corruption scandal. So this could bring down his government in about a New York minute if it's true.
And wrapping up with the equities markets here, that relatively flat, but the Dow just couldn't quite get black.
Yeah, it was in the black 30 minutes before close. We'll talk a bit about that. We had 3 days down in the middle of the week, bracketed Monday and Friday by 2 days up. Dow closed at 26,026, down 6 points on the week, broke its streak of nine weeks in a row. It actually, 30 minutes before market, was up 26.68, something like that. Meanwhile, S&P 500 up 0.4 of a point, 2804. It's been up 9 of the last 10 weeks. And the NASDAQ keeps its streak going. It finished in the black now 10 weeks in a row at 75.95, up almost a percent. Big news out of Wall Street today was Tesla cutting the price of their Model 3 to the magic number of $35,000. If you choose to buy one sometime in the next 2 or 3 months, or maybe till the end of the year, I'm not really sure, you get a government rebate of $4,500. But get this, Rob, the margin on a Model 3 right now is zero. They make no money on these things. And in order to cut the price down to that goal of $35,000, they are shuttering all of their retail stores in the United States. Yikes.
Yeah, and they had a almost $1 billion payment due today.
Yeah, I know. And their debt to equity ratios 279 or something like that. Horrible metrics for this company. I don't know why people still are enamored with it.
And wrapping up the venture here, relatively flat, picked up $1.
Flatlining for most of the last week or 6 days of trading on lower volumes. PDAC pending, closed at 625, up 2 points on the week. Do we buy in or sell out at PDAC? We shall see. It starts on Sunday.
Okay, well, we'll check back in with you and see how the PDAC went. So I appreciate the insight and safe travels.
Thanks a lot, Rob. It's going to be cold up there.